Yo, what's going on? Mr. J. Mr. J. First name A.
The name's
Last
Cannon.
name J. Oh, God.
God Cannon.
He has one martini and he thinks he's James Bond.
I thought that ever since playing Blood and Truth.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The immersion is real with this one.
Yes.
All right. Dude, we're running kind of late, so let's not dick around. Let's start the show.
Let's go.
This is PSVR GamesCast Live, the #1 PlayStation VR podcast in the entire universe.
In New Zealand.
Where we
And number 78 in New Zealand.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of PSVR competition in New Zealand. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just glad we placed. We film every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on YouTube, live 6 p.m. Eastern for your viewing pleasure. If you don't like things being viewed and you'd rather hear things, I don't know. This is why I should script everything on this channel. Make sure you head to podcast services of your choice and listen to this like about 100 or 200 other cats do all the time. This is available in MP3 format. I don't know. That's all I got. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole. And the gentleman to my right, he's alive. I found him. I dug him up and dragged him out. It's AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
What's going on, man? Yeah, visiting hours are during GamesCast Live only. Oh man, no, actually, you're this podcast is top 100 in all of gaming.
What?
On podcasts around the world, in like New Zealand, in like Spain. We're really popular out there, man. Top 100 in all of gaming, not just PSVR. Of course, we're the #1 PSVR podcast. Ain't even a question. What is up, man? And what is up, Game Cats? Happy Monday. Really excited about today's show. Excited to be back. I haven't seen you guys since Capcom Showcase, and where we got 5 seconds of them saying, and remember, Resident Evil Village is coming to PSVR 2. And hopefully we can help make your Monday suck just a little bit less.
Hell yeah. I was waiting for it. Guys, don't forget, a lot of housekeeping to take care of. If you want to join our Discord, the link's in the description for that down below. In the description below, underneath where we are, right here. Discord is where all the coolest cats hang out, man. It's just like this kind of conversation that kind of happens 24/7. It is it's just a very cool community of people, PlayStation VR people, with obviously all sorts of different interests. We talk about all things all the time, not just PSVR. So if PSVR is not your main thing, but you do enjoy it, feel free to come on over and hang out. It's tough to get a multiplayer game together sometimes. The servers for most multiplayer games are dead. So if you like coming over and hanging out on our Discord, that is a great place to get a game together. We do have channels for almost every popular PSVR game, and we're always willing to create new ones. Also, don't forget to subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground. The link for that's in the description below as well. Whenever I'm slacking, you can guarantee that AJ... I shouldn't guarantee anything these days, but
Don't guarantee it.
but sometimes you're not
Don't
slacking
you put that
when
on
I'm
me.
slacking. If there's no content, it's AJ's fault. Let's just put it out there in black and white.
My internet's back up and running, so that's good news.
Thankfully, it sounds like your Saturday Night Live streams were missed sorely.
Yes, by one angry person.
By one, well, you know, not angry, AJ, passionate. Dude, what have you been up to since the last time we saw you? Anything good?
Oh man, I'm doing well, man. Thank you. There's lots of awesome stuff going on. Obviously, it's a really slow time for PSVR, so I've been really trying to take full advantage of this time and live a little bit of a life, because I know when PSVR 2 comes out, it's back to another 4 to 6 years of just doing nothing but that, and that's a good thing, by the way. But yeah, man, I've been living it up and doing all sorts of things, and been there's so much I want to talk about, but really the coolest thing I would say of recent was I went to my local arcade on Saturday, and I went there and I was talking with my girlfriend Julia, aka Buju, the Underground Game Cat, elite name squad in the house, and we went to the arcade. And I was wondering if there was like going to be any VR there, because we know VR has gotten kind of like more of a presence. And so like, and she was like, "Oh yeah, definitely." And I was like, "Nah, I don't know. I'm not really expecting it." Much to my surprise, there were 5 VR games there, including Beat Saber, Vader Immortal. There was like a King Kong ride, some Rabbids ride, and then there was like some small enclosed multiplayer thing that it required a lot more people, so we didn't get to try that one. But yeah, man, it was really cool. And you know, I don't know if you have it, but if you got it and got it ready, but actually Julia recorded me. Unbeknownst to me, she recorded some of my footage of playing Beat Saber. I was wearing my Beat Saber hat, so I had to. I was like, I gotta play Beat Saber and set some records on here.
Did a crowd form? Were there people like watching and going, "Oh wow, so this is how it's done"?
Dude, there was a lot of people playing VR. A lot of kids too, like really little kids. There were tons of parents with their children, young children, were playing a lot of them, and I was like really surprised. I didn't think anybody was gonna be playing them. So it's just really great to see VR having this presence here.
Yeah, I mean, like your Beat Saber skills are admirable, but your ability to stand on a wall is bar none the greatest thing I've ever seen. I just downloaded this from Google Drive seconds before the show. I didn't have time to like to change the perspective here.
Look at that. Yeah, man, I'm defying the laws of gravity, and I just got to always one up everything, you know?
Yeah, pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. I want a set of those moon boots. So.
Yeah, it's a really cool setup though. They've got AJ.
That's you.
VR. VR has a nice thing going on. A lot of them had this kind of setup where they had like the big giant social screen in front of you and stuff, and it was a lot of fun, man. Really cool.
Nice. That's awesome. And I mean, so since we're watching this sideways, what is the what was the experience like? Was it better or worse than PSVR? Did you see any difference?
It was almost the same. The one surprising thing was that I lost tracking twice. I played it twice and I lost tracking both times. And the controllers, as you can see, the controllers have like this huge, because they've got them tethered to the arcade machine.
Yeah.
And so like the controllers are like 2 feet long and you got to hold them at the top. And so like for balance and stuff, I was actually missing my move controllers
wow.
a lot. I know, which is crazy, but yeah, I was really missing my move controllers because I was losing tracking in more ways than I do at home. But overall, it was really solid. It was a lot of fun, definitely.
Nice. That's awesome to hear. I mean, you know, for people who complain, people out there who complain about wires, when even your controllers are wired, you know that shit has gone in the wrong direction when it comes to VR interactions and immersion. Wow. Good stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Nice. Shirley Funk reminds us that there are 40 likes and 120 people watching. I hate to get all Miles Dyer on you, especially considering what day of the week it is, but hit the like button, you guys. It definitely helps us out. And Miles, I'm sure, is watching, and he would be proud of me if I said that. AJ, you know, we love all the people who support us, you know, not just by tipping or you know, supporting us on Patreon or anything else that they might do to support the channel. But there's a way that they support the channel that sometimes doesn't get enough recognition. What is your favorite color? I'm sorry, what is that?
Blue, no yellow. We would like to thank those that support us in another way by changing their name to something GameCat, something GameCat related, or something GameCat adjacent, as you and something GameCat adjacent like to say. Just do it. Just change your name to something GameCat.
Yeah.
Join
How hard is it?
the GameCat army, which is apparently trended on Twitter for like a day or something.
Yeah, it was good.
This week, we have 4 new GameCats to welcome to the GameCat Dojo. Starting with Serial Killer, the elusive club member Gamecat.
Man, Serial Killer really is the new hotcakes. Where is he? There he is. The elusive club. I don't know if I did this on GamesCast or on my AMA, which, by the way, for the $5 Patreon supporters out there, thank you so much for hanging out during my AMA this Saturday. It went really, really well. It was a lot of fun. But I keep saying the elusive club instead of the exclusive club when it comes to Patreon. So Serial Killer, of course, had to give it to me. Who else we got?
We've got, I love this, short, sweet, and simple. We have a game owl now.
Bing!
Love it. Don't always got to be a cat, right?
Dude, so this is totally my fault, and I apologize. My heart goes out to Davey out there because Davey has changed his name like 3 times, and the first one it was like Davey the Game Owl, but like the capitalization was different, and I was like, oh, you need to capitalize the V and the R because it's VR and whatever, and he changed it to that, and then I kept misreading his name, and because I kept misreading it, he was like, well, Brian's fucking stupid. I need to make. Did he
just give up, and he's like, oh fuck it, just Game Owl?
Yeah, right. I tried to listen to Brian's suggestion. I took Brian's suggestion. I changed my name. And now he can't read my name. And
enough of it.
Yep, and understandably so.
Next, I like this one a lot, and it's time to PlayStation VR.
Bing.
GC.
Hell yeah, man! I think this is time to play with GameCats. Remember?
Yep.
And so,
time to play, then time to play with GameCats. Now it's time to PlayStation VR.
And soon, I'm sure, time to PlayStation VR 2.
2, yeah.
The sequel.
Great dude. Finally, we have Nidhogger, the European Zackergato. I love it. GameCat adjacent.
Yeah, I don't know what a Zackergato is. I mean, I know gato is Spanish for cat, but I don't know what Zocker means. So we're probably saying all sorts of racial slurs and not even knowing it. I apologize.
It's gotta be German.
It sounds German.
Zackergato.
And Nidhogger sounds very German, right? I don't know. That's a something thing. Right. I don't know. All right, guys. Remember, if you change your name to GameCat because you love us almost as much as we love you, make sure in the comments below you put hashtag GameCat so we can give you a shout out on next week's show, just like we gave all of these awesome furry kitties a shout out today. Speaking of shout outs, AJ, we got Gatorade 23 in the chat with a $20 tip. Says, is it Q1 2023 yet?
Not yet, man. We're close, though. It'll be here before you know it. Also, Gatorade.
I'm lost. Help me out.
Yep.
No.
No. You don't explain jokes. That's how you ruin a joke.
To me, you have to explain every joke, AJ.
H2O.
This might
Gatorade.
I know this isn't your first radio. This ain't your first rodeo.
My first radio was. Anyways,
I got nothing, man. You got to explain every joke to me, man. You got to explain every joke to me because I don't understand anything. I don't get sarcasm. I don't get humor. I am lost, and I shall never be found. Thanks again, Gatorade 23. We love you. Dude, first story comes to us from a bunch of different places actually. Sony is having a hardware showcase tomorrow. This had been kind of like heavily rumored for a while that Sony was going to be showing off a few different devices, everything from headsets to displays, and also rumored that there was this Pro controller in the works. And I'm not sure if you guys out there are aware, but Sony's developing a new PlayStation VR headset, currently named PlayStation VR 2. Spoilers: it has a wire.
What?
And so when Sony announced they had a hardware showcase coming up, and it's even scheduled right now. It's scheduled. Like this isn't a rumor anymore. They are showing off hardware tomorrow, and it's I want to say I don't know when it is, but that's not the important part. It's tomorrow, and so the important part of this is, to me, AJ, and I think to a lot of people, it made perfect sense. They're saying if Sony's going to show off a bunch of new hardware, this would be the perfect place to show off, I don't know, everything they're working on.
The biggest piece of hardware that is releasing in the next year or two?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. And PSVR 2, it made perfect sense. Showed alongside the Pro controller, and then you don't alienate fans, right? People who tuned in to see, here's the hardware that Sony's been working on. You know, you always run the risk of on State of Play to say, oh, here's PlayStation VR 2 games or even PSVR 1 games, because mostly flat screen people are tuning in. You know, so But to do it in a hardware showcase and show off the PSVR 2, in my book I'm like, get Mark Cerny up on that fucking stage and talk and do this little tech talk, right? This all made perfect sense to me. It's like, how could you get mad? You signed up for it for a hardware showcase. Let's show off some hardware. According to Tom Henderson on Twitter, now we've been through some leakers, AJ, you and me. We've been through some leakers, and a lot of them have turned out to be, so far, pretty unreliable. A lot of things have been said that have not come to fruition. Who knows? Maybe some of that stuff will come to light later down the road, and we'll be like, oh, this person was right after all. He was just wicked early on some of his announcements. Unlikely. The person who has been batting like 1,000, dude, is Tom Henderson on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, go follow Tom Henderson. All of his leaks seem fucking legit, and he does a lot of investigating before he tweets things out. It seems like he's very, very careful about the things that he says. And he says, quote, update. The PlayStation 5 Pro Controller won't be revealed at the event. Sources confirm this is just for the 3 headsets, regular headsets, not VR headsets, and two monitors with a Sony Cross Valorant partnership announcement. Valorant's not coming to PlayStation 5. That's a completely different story. This is a little bit weird and a little bit misleading. But if Tom Henderson is to be believed, this hardware showcase, where they're showing upcoming hardware, will not contain the biggest piece of hardware that we're looking to see. Which lends the question, AJ, when the fuck are we getting our Mark Cerny talk?
GDC already passed. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing. Like, this seems like it would have been a great place, because Sony lately, they've been mixing the flashy press conferences with just the traditional ones like CES and coming out and announcing PlayStation VR 2 there and doing a lot of PlayStation blog stuff. So I don't know. I'm a little surprised, but I don't know. This is obviously probably like a different division that was working on this. It's easy to confuse, be like, why isn't Sony thinking this? And we forget all the time that Sony is a massive company full of lots of different people and divisions and sectors and products.
Words.
So I mean, they have like phones, TVs, all sorts of stuff. So I don't know, man. There's been rumor, when Jeff Grubb was talking about a potential PlayStation VR showcase, he mentioned something soon and then something maybe in September. So the fact that maybe it ends up being this September showcase that has been rumored, I could easily see it being part of that.
I mean, talk about just holding all of your cards close to your chest until the absolute last minute. If it ends up being
that's what they've been doing.
If it ends up being a September showcase, which, I mean, again, what a great time. I've been saying this all year. Like, the later you can tell people that it's coming Q1 2023, the better, right? Because then the later you tell people, the sooner Q1 is, right? If you tell people in Q4 that it's coming in Q1, you're like, that's the next Q. That's like it's only one Q away. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you tell people
which
now,
it's what they're trying to do.
Right. If you tell people that now, it still seems pretty far off. I mean, we've still got 6 months of the year left, which is so it's still a very long time. So I get it.
The one thing that I've learned and that a lot of other people out there need to learn is that a lot of people look at what Sony's history, look at how they did things in the past, and it's like, really, you have to just let that go. Everything you expected Sony to do it's just not the same. It has something to do with new leadership, new era of gaming, and new marketing. Lots of different people that have no connection with the ones before. So, you really just have to. That's the biggest lesson I've learned over the last couple of years. Is that anything you thought you knew about Sony, just forget it. Like, aside from making some of the best games in hardware ever, but in terms of like marketing and stuff, they're not afraid to just remain silent until last second.
For sure, and I think Sony also learned some really hard lessons over the years too. There was like the E3 of Dreams a few years back where they revealed all sorts of games, all sorts of big games that were coming out.
Oh my god!
Right?
Yeah.
You remember this, right? It was, and it was like, holy crap!
Final Fantasy,
this is
Final
insane.
Fantasy 7,
Yeah.
The Last Guardian, and Shenmue 3. Yeah,
And
I literally had friends that were like crying.
right, and it was just nonstop AAA title after AAA title after AAA title, all this first party stuff, and then like Sony had nothing to show for like 3 years. It was like, oh man, it's like you definitely blew your load like way too early, and now it's just we're just going to stare at you uncomfortably, as happens when you blow your load too early. And so I think they learned some hard lessons over the years, which is why, like, I mean, looking at how many studios they have, looking at the hardware they've got coming up, looking at everything, it's almost like they've got too much to announce. And so, and I think Sony realizes that there's so many different shows coming up over the next year that they could easily like just reveal what they need to reveal just to keep people super interested in PlayStation 5 and of course PSVR 2, that they don't need to do as much as they used to do in the past. And then never run out of content. They'll never look like there's this dry spell coming from Sony. So maybe a good lesson was learned.
Yeah, and the thing that makes me excited about this is that they probably have a lot to show and keep us entertained, and for the future. This whole transitional period between PS4 and PS5 has been kind of rough, but they've done solid when it comes to like game releases and stuff. Obviously, not referring to PSVR 2 because it's been like torture. But there's a lot to look forward to, and I really feel like this next gen hasn't even begun yet.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. We've gotten a couple like next gen PlayStation 5 titles, but very, very few and far between. A lot of titles very few titles that haven't also come to PlayStation 4, and of course we haven't gotten our next gen VR headset yet. So I'm with you, man. I think the second PSVR 2 gets released, next gen will have officially started for me, or this gen will have officially started. I guess makes more sense.
I'm with you there.
Nice. Some other shit that's happening this week, AJ, is that the PlayStation Talent Initiative, which we're very familiar with because of Intruders Hide and Seek, the unfortunate Neon Hat, and unfortunately titled game Neon Hat. And of course, the upcoming. Wait, are you going to defend the Neon Hat title?
It's all right.
It's pretty bad. Listen, if the game was amazing, we'd probably never talk shit about the title. But the fact is, it was only okay, and even at that, could have used some work. But yeah, so the PlayStation Talents Initiative is happening. They're having a showcase this Thursday. I want to say it's at 1 p.m., but my brain is shot. You guys know that. And we figured, hey, why the fuck not live stream it? So we're going to be live streaming that event in hopes that we see. Actually, we know that Do Not Open is going to be there, and that's really why we're going to watch it. Do Not Open.
I was watching your Friday show, and yeah, you had mentioned that you don't know if maybe they're going to be on PSVR 2 as well. And when they were, and during GDC, I think it was, or they had a panel there. Now they were only playing with like PC stuff, and they were playing with a controller as well. I think, but they had it in VR being showcased, and they did have a PlayStation VR 2 logo there. So I think it's likely that we see it. I just hope to see it with hands and not just a controller only.
It does. Looking at the previews that we've seen, obviously a lot of the previews we've seen have been from the flat screen because it is a flat screen game as well. But it's so flat screen and VR. So it's a little confusing. Like, is the footage we're seeing it's super crisp and clear. We're assuming this is all flat screen footage that's being played with the DualShock 4. But when you get into VR, can you play with the Move controllers, or are you still playing with the DualShock 4? And of course, are we going to have to wait till the PlayStation VR 2 version, inevitable version, we should say, to actually get our hands into the game? All good questions, but I think the biggest question that we need to ask, AJ, is if this actually is still coming to PlayStation VR 1.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be DualShock only, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still some life in PSVR. I mean, yeah, it's going to, there's really not much left in terms of releases. But hey, we're getting Saints and Sinners 2. So at least there's something to look forward to.
And that's it. Thanks,
So
Guidance.
yeah,
Thanks, Guidance. You took care of the last 3 quarters of 2022 admirably.
yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing your game to PlayStation VR 1. Wow. Yeah, I mean, the PlayStation Talents Initiative is obviously funded by Sony. And so, in my book, Sony is well aware. They're looking at, the few remaining PlayStation VR 1 gamers out there, and they're looking at the PlayStation VR 1 release schedule. They're seeing people drop like flies, like developers drop like flies, who were initially planning on bringing their game to PSVR 1 and now bringing their game to PSVR 2. So it's happening left and right. And so if you are funding a game, you better believe Sony's like, listen, these guys need something to play. Have you seen Without Parole recently? It is a barren fucking wasteland, right? Bring the game over so those guys have something to play. I can only imagine that's how it's going. But so that's good news. And with any luck, AJ, we'll see something else on Thursday's showcase. Whether it be, obviously we love VR games above and beyond anything else. However, maybe we'll see a PlayStation VR game. Maybe we'll see a PSVR 1 game that's been in development for a couple of years under this PlayStation Talents Initiative that they're gonna reveal. Highly unlikely, but it's possible. And hopefully we'll see some other cool indie games, even if they're not VR.
Probe Game Dev 2.
Probe. What an interesting title. By interesting, I mean don't buy it. It's terrible. Yeah. All right, man. Well, that definitely brings us to the big topic of the day. And
Yes.
like finally, we can talk about something interesting.
Yeah, I've been thinking of that for about 20 minutes now. I was like really hoping to, like when we were talking about next gen, and I was gonna be like, speaking of next gen, and then no, let's talk about do not open in PlayStation Talents for 10 minutes.
We've ruined all of our segues along the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
JT Money in the chat says, what happened to Transformers? Excellent question. Yep. So many excellent questions. There's a ton of PlayStation VR 1 games that should have been out by now, that should be coming out, that we should have seen tons of preview trailers for, and they're just like legit evaporating before our eyes. But obviously we'll keep you posted when we hear news on any of these games. I do check in with the Transformers devs on occasion. The last time I DM'd them, I just wrote poke.
Yeah, that being a rail shooter, like, yeah, bring that to PSVR 1. We'll have fun with it.
Yeah, it'll waste.
That doesn't need to wait for PSVR 2.
It'll waste one of the 200 days we need to waste between now and PSVR 2.
Yep.
Sure. All right, man. But the big story, of course, is that over on PlayStation.com, we've gotten a little bit more information about, I don't know, some obscure PSVR 2 game called Horizon Call of the Mountain. Are you familiar with this game? Does this ring a bell at all to you?
Horizon?
Wow, I just squeaked.
Man, I'm so excited for this, yeah, man, we got a bunch of new details. Loyal Gamecat and nipples made of diamond cutters, J Meow, posted this in the news in the Discord. Yeah. Good job. I've been checking this like every day. And of course, yeah, and this is why, because like you slowly, whenever there's another announcement, there's like these slow little trickles out of new things on the PlayStation website. So it's great to check it every single day, and yeah, you'll never know what you find. And we've gotten some brand spanking new info, as well as a couple new clips from Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is currently in development by Fire Sprite Games. Now first party Fire Sprite Games, and yeah, they gave us some new info to talk about.
Yeah, so let's go through this, man, and let's go through it carefully, because I feel like so much of what they said here is very, very intentional. This is to me, this is sort of the equivalent of a PlayStation blog, right? It's like, if you don't pay attention to the PlayStation blog, there's a ton of information that you're going to miss. In fact, you might miss all of the information when it comes to PSVR 2, because that seems to be where they place everything. But for this PlayStation.com game listing is just sort of speckled with little bits of new information that for some reason weren't mentioned prior. And it's almost like this is like an Easter egg hunt that Sony intentionally put out there for people to find. So I think this is going to be fun.
You want to read through it?
Yeah, man. Why don't you kick it off?
All right. So the first one is kind of just PR stuff, but let's get it out of the way. These are Horizon Call of the Mountain key features now on the PlayStation.com website. Designed for PlayStation VR 2, view the breathtaking natural world of Horizon Call of the Mountain in 360 degrees and interact with your surroundings using two PlayStation VR 2 Sense controllers. Experience the sensations of height and wonder as you take in stunning vistas across Karja and Nora homelands through the eyes of a new character, Rias, a disgraced former Karja soldier searching for redemption.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to get caught up to you, and I was like, where is he? And so I was a whole page above you.
How do you, the thing that, how do you do with heights in VR? You any good with those?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I don't know if you were around for when Miles and I were talking about the big Zenith update. And,
oh my God.
Have you done that?
Thing. Oh my God. Yes.
Dude, I was okay at first, like jumping from a couple platforms to another platform, and then like you're climbing, and then you're climbing more, and then you're walking across like a tightrope area, then you're climbing more. And dude, eventually it just all caught up to me. My body was like, this is really fucking scary. Like it didn't, dude, there was like 7 polygons on the screen at once. Like it did not look realistic, but my body was like, you were really high. And at one, and there's so many tense moments where I was, Miles was ahead of me waiting, and I was like, dude, I just need a second. Like I just legit need a second to like regain my composure, because I need to convince my body that I'm not actually climbing, that we're not like this high up in the ground, off the ground. And so for something that looks this realistic, dude, I'm fucked.
Yes.
I'm totally fucked, and I can't wait.
I'm so ready, man. I mean, I thought, I climbed the castle in the sky in Zenith, and when you're like that high up, but you're also like climbing across like a tightrope, like a vine, and so like that makes it even worse. This would probably be a little bit more controlled, a little bit more polished in terms of how they present it, and it's going to be really, really cool. I like the concept of. It's like one of the most amazing sensations for me is like when stuff can make you go, whoa. Yeah. Like that to me, it's like how you say with Resident Evil 7 and like how it's too scary for some people. Mm-hmm. Like that's to me is like what it's all about. Like what's that experience.
You recently played through Horizon Zero Dawn from start to finish, right?
Yeah.
And is there... It's been so long since I played Horizon 1, and I haven't played Forbidden West. Is there any from being a character that is a disgraced former Karja soldier? What does that tell us about Reyes? What's his name? Reyes?
Nothing. Ryu.
So in the Karja army, they're what? Just like is that just everybody you encounter normally in Horizon? Like everybody?
Yeah, it's just, there's a bunch of different tribes in the game, and it's just one of the tribes. I think the one you start with are the Nora, is what you start out with, and this is just one of the other ones. So, but they're just talking about story of redemption and for this character. So I hope it's actually got a really good story, and I could see it having a good story because people, especially the number one like Horizon fans out there, will tell you like every side story character and whatever has like an interesting story, or most of the time they say that. So I didn't play every single side mission. I did the mainline story because that's what I was mostly interested in, and like exploring the world and stuff and fighting giant robot dinosaurs. But this will probably, this would be really cool if it ties into the lore, to see how it ties into the lore.
Yeah, for sure.
Can we move on to the next one?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let's scroll.
All right. So it says, brave a new adventure, conquer colossal peaks, overcome fearsome machines, and uncover a hidden danger to the world of Horizon as you answer the call in the of the mountain in an immersive new adventure for PlayStation VR 2. Enter a living, breathing world of dangerous machines, tribal lore, exciting quests, and new and returning characters. Explore a diverse landscape, embark on a journey with multiple paths to take where you'll have to look all around you to uncover the secrets of the mountain. Multiple paths confirmed.
I think that's the one that everybody gravitates to the second that they read this. Multiple paths, could mean so many different things, right? Like, you could just have a path that goes this way and then a path that goes that way. And then in 20 feet, they reconverge. Yeah. But you don't think that's what they're referring to here, because that wouldn't be worth mentioning.
Yeah, we got to be careful because sometimes there is PR speak. What is it? The Impatient has 6 different endings or whatever. And it's like, come on, man.
That's one of the few things it had going for it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's Fire Sprite. It's a first party game, so hopefully they put a lot of attention and they really mean it when they are saying that, to me, when I hear multiple paths, to be honest with you, though, I feel like that could mean it is somewhat of a shorter game, like a 5-hour game, maybe, and maybe there's additional replay value in those extra paths. So, there's a lot of questions I still have. Go ahead.
It's funny because I actually get the complete opposite impression from reading the exact same thing, is that maybe not so much for replayability, but more like, I don't know if you're the same kind of gamer as I am, but when I play a game and there's a mark on the map that says go here, I go everywhere else first, right? It's like if the game clearly wants you to go right, I go left as long as possible and find everything that I can, find all the collectibles, all the crafting items, everything. And then when I feel like I've explored all of those options as much as I can, then I finally go, okay, now I'll go right. Right. And so, and that's,
I kind of head towards the goal, but I sweep from left to right as far as I can and try to just explore everything as I make my way there.
But that's how this reads to me. It makes me think, it kind of tells me, hey, multiple paths, your goal is over here on the right, but over here on the left, there's a lot of other things to do that probably optional. Maybe it'll help you out. Maybe it'll help, level up or craft or do whatever it is that you need to do before you make your way right. And that's sort of the read I'm getting from this, making me wonder, maybe you can mainline the story in 6 hours, but possibly if you take your time and explore, maybe it's 12 hours. I have no idea.
Yeah. There was a question about whether this game would be open world or not, because Horizon games are typically open world. And it seems like with the presentation, with what they're doing here, climbing up a mountain, it doesn't seem like it's going to be open world, but I don't think it really has to be. Especially if they nail the exploration of it, if there's actually big areas and nice areas to explore and discover, and they talk about exciting quests. I don't know if that's just part of the main quest or if there's actually going to be side quests and stuff. If they flesh it out with all this stuff, it's going to be a wonderful ride.
Yeah, and I think this absolutely answers the question of, is this open world? We were all pretty certain it was fairly linear, right? With probably big open areas to explore as you go down this linear path. But you'd absolutely would have to believe that Sony would be jumping up and down screaming open world nonstop throughout this entire website if it was open world. So I think that pretty much puts it to close. And somehow I'm not disappointed even remotely, because I feel like this more focused adventure, I don't know, man. It's yes, we need more open world stuff in VR, but also a more focused adventure that still gives me room to explore, I think will be just as much fun. And I've got a little bit of open world fatigue anyway, man. It's I played so many of those games, and then eventually I was just okay, we get it, man. Your world is bigger than the last one. I'm fucking done.
I definitely like to mix it up, but I wouldn't say I'm fatigued on those, especially when there's plenty to discover and explore. Then I'm okay with that. But I hate exploring big empty worlds. That's the only thing I hate.
Hey, the random guy in company with the 10 New Zealand dollars,
look at this.
Thank you very much, says the Shadow Karja are the main villains, so he's joining the good guys in redeeming himself. Also, AJ brother, the side quests influence the main story a lot, especially the ending. Good stuff, man. Hopefully they carry that stuff through to this game. Thanks for the clarification, random guy, because I do feel like being a bad guy and then kind of experiencing this world that we've already experienced, or a lot of people have experienced twice already, at least I'll let you enter it with a new perspective. Can we talk about Rias for a second? Are we saying Rias or Reyes? It's just R-Y-A-S.
They say in the trailer, I forget though. It's just like Reyes.
Race.
Yeah, it sounds like
America.
Reese or something. We're like Rest, right? Yeah.
Okay.
America.
Well, I mean,
let's just call him America.
So part of me kind of like is like once the story gets going, like you're obviously going to be in that river raft at the beginning, and they're going to like sort of shove some story down your throat while you're taking in the beautiful landscape and seeing some of the creatures and shit walk by. I kind of hope that's as much exposition about Rise that we get for a while, because I don't know about you, but in VR, I really want to be the main character. I want to feel as though I'm the person, and I don't need him talking the whole time. I don't, it's his story and whatever, but we can certainly experience his story without hearing him talk the whole time. I think that's sort of why they made this move and why we're not playing as Aloy, because you kind of need to be this sort of nameless, empty vessel for the player to actually feel immersed and feel like they're the character, which is why I think Resident Evil 7 worked so well, because we didn't know shit about Ethan and he didn't talk all that much, and so it was like we could be Ethan without a big hassle. But I think it would be harder for us to just be like, oh, I'm Aloy, this character that we already know way too much about,
Will be interesting to see if they do that, if they have you talk, or if it's more just, like you said, that's more like Song in the Smoke, where you create your own story in a way. And, but
and there's a good balance.
Ethan talks a lot in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Like maybe, Song in the Smoke, I think is just a better example. I know what you mean though. As long you don't want them to overdo it with the dialogue, you want to, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. A big mechanic in Horizon is interacting with people, talking to them, and choosing different things to say, and that can change things. So it'll be interesting to see if that makes its way into this as well.
Hold on, Imzadi can't. Imzadi's freaking out. OMG, remove the GIF. It's so repetitive. I can't concentrate on what you're saying. Hold on. Better. Well, so actually, we don't want to remove the GIF. I'm so sorry, Imzadi. It's like, fuck you guys. Because look at what they're showing. Look at what they're showing here in this looping video. This was another huge question that people had, because obviously, if you guys played Farpoint, right, and like those big giant spiders that leap at your face, they don't leap at your face from behind or from the sides. They run out in front of you. Even if they were behind you, they make their way all the way around you and then jump at you from the front, because VR developers are concerned about you being able to handle everything and take it all in and be able to fight. Like, you can't fight what you can't see, right? And so there was this concern. I think it's not a one-to-one comparison, but I think it does relate, that we'd only be fighting one machine at a time. And you can see very clearly in this thing that was pissing Imzadi off.
There's another one.
There's two. There's two machines in this.
So not only that, this little GIF also confirms something that was like, when I first heard about Horizon in VR, I was like, oh, I can't wait to do this. And that is, you see him shooting at the weak spot on the back. That's one of the best parts of Horizon Zero Dawn or just Horizon, is kind of like scanning these or finding all the weak spots and exploiting the machines in all their different places, and like blowing up, certain things that have different reactions. So I loved it that you get to physically aim the bow and shoot at their back now. That's really, really fun target practice right there.
Mark Pringlesley for the £5 says, I'm sure I heard or read this, that the river ride is separate to the main game. There is a separate river ride experience where you're just sitting there, and I don't, who knows what kind of limited interactions you'll have, if any. And that's very much designed to put your friends and family into. I think they actually talk a little bit more about that near the end of this article. But from what I think we know, that the beginning of the game does actually start on that, and to like kind of provide a little bit of exposition and to kind of like get you into the game before you take full control. It's
the Skyrim wagon ride, except you're on a boat, and it's gonna look freaking beautiful.
And I mean, dude, this is our new Ocean's Descent. Sorry, sirens on my end. Thanks, Worcester. But this is our new Ocean's Descent. And it's like Ocean's Descent was
Yeah.
like a kind of a pretty game, and like there was all these like glowing marine life.
Amazing experience for being one of the first things to experience in VR.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. I still love it. I think it's still great.
And so to have something like this that's truly next gen, truly like 4K and just just AAA, like an experience based on a AAA game. I think it was a really really smart move for them to do to be like, hey, not only do we want you a hardcore gamer to play this, but we've also included this thing for your friends and family who've never played VR and like kind of want to baby step into it a little bit.
Yeah, most people know what Horizon is by now. So it's like, hey, you remember Horizon? Yeah. You want to try this Horizon River Ride thing in
Good
VR?
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and then on top of this, you have a AAA game attached to it. So that was one of the biggest drawbacks or that was like kind of one of the detriments of the original PlayStation VR launch was that like, oh, that was amazing, but it was like 5 minutes long and then gone. It's like, no, this is like this, next gen amazing VR experience. And then it's like, welcome to the game after. So they know what they're doing for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you, if you walk into a Best Buy where they're demoing PSVR 2, or you walk into a mall kiosk, or you walk into whatever,
Yes.
right? This is the thing
Have
they're going to be
that there.
showing off.
Yes.
So hopefully they give you something to do with your hands, right? Because obviously you're going to want to experience the Sense controllers, and obviously we'll get into more about that in just a second. But with the River Ride, it's like hopefully there's stuff to do because VR is much more about just the visuals, obviously, and if they give you something to do with your hands so people can experience the Sense controllers, I think that would be even smarter than the thing that we're talking about.
Yeah, messing with shit. When I was watching you play Scavenger's Odyssey, and you were like at the loading screen, and there's like those floating balls, and you're like smacking that ball. I was like, God, I love that mechanic so much.
Yeah.
All right. The final section says, enjoy immersive action. You'll need a warrior's instinct to find the path forward, and danger will stalk you all the way. But there are new allies and old friends who stand ready to help you with your journey. Use intuitive movements to climb vast mountains, hunt machines, shoot your bow, and craft items from raw materials. Feel the adrenaline rush in a riverboat ride filled with surprises that offers the chance to show off PSVR 2 to your friends and family.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. But the part that jumps out at me here, AJ, is the craft items from raw materials.
Yeah.
This because they had mentioned crafting in the past, but very very cursory. Like they did not mention about raw materials or whatever. It's just generally it's like, oh, I have this and I have this. It's like, can I just smash these two things together and make something else? But the fact that there's I've been playing Days Gone, right? I finally played a flat screen game, AJ. I know you're proud of me. I've got a lot of flat screen gaming to catch up on, and I will tell you that I'm loving Days Gone.
Yeah.
Because, dude, I'm so just like I want to take as much time in every area that I possibly can and collect all the raw materials so that I can craft everything that I need when danger strikes, right? And this makes me so happy because I love crafting in games. I love scavenging for items. Saints and Sinners obviously was huge, and I just like I'm gonna spend as much time in every single area, just looking in every single corner for any raw materials I can find. I'm glad they're making it sound like crafting is like an essential part of this game.
Yeah, and it'll be cool if they like how deep they go with this. I'm gonna say it's probably a safe bet that this little GIF or video clip being next to this section, they show the picks that you use to climb for the mountain. I'm gonna go off a limb here and say that you probably have to find like the wood for it, the head of it, and then like maybe wrap it around it and tie it together. And then that's, at least one example of hopefully many things that the crafting has to offer. But yeah, that is something that Song in the Smoke definitely proved is like, there's been so many examples of games over the last couple of years where there's a simple mechanic that you're used to just clicking something in a menu to do. And it's really what makes VR, it makes it VR is all about, is to have to actually do these things, and how fun it adds to the fun, it adds to the immersion, it adds to the depth of the gameplay. So yeah, I'm not expecting like the deepest experience with this, but the more they have, the better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I don't want to like take it too far and expect like a full on survival game.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, if you can at least craft like, I mean, I think The Last of Us never went far enough with crafting. Right? There was a bunch of stuff to collect, but you could only make a few different items. And I always thought like, man, I wish they had taken this further. That being said, if I can even do the amount that they gave us in Last of Us, I think I'd be pretty damn happy. God, I'm sorry. Who was it in the chat that was just asking about the hardware showcase? Here, let me. I can just give you the link for that. Maybe I can't give you the link for it. Just Google Sony Showcase. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I didn't see the link for that either. But yeah, and then of course they do confirm here that they are intentionally having this riverboat ride as including that as part of an experience to show off PSVR 2 to family and friends. So seems like a really, really great launch title.
Hopefully it's a launch title. I mean, they've yet to say that, right?
True.
It would make perfect sense. It would be a system seller. It'd be a must-have game. It'd be something that everybody would want to get their hands on, especially with the riverboat ride. It just seems like an absolute perfect launch title to kind of give you your like a bit of PSVR worlds and your full AAA game that you've been wanting. What are you doing?
Maybe this is a conversation for another day, but I think it was Shades of Gray Matter I was kind of talking about with this, and he was saying like, he thinks like spinoffs like these are going to be vital for PSVR 2 moving forward, and this is just one example of many. And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I mean, I think this is really cool, but I'm wondering like what kind of impact is this going to have? Like, is this how many units is this going to sell, and how many Horizon fans are going to be convinced to buy PSVR 2 because of this thing? So, not like questioning whether it's capable of it, because I know it's absolutely capable of doing it. But I'm curious to see the results of like, obviously I don't think PSVR 2 is in danger of having any like limited games available, because basically anything on PS5 is a possibility at this point. But I am interested to see how much of an impact this game has on selling the headset.
Agreed. I'm sorry. Tornado is like got my arm. Like she's like super acting up right now, and I can't even move my arm. She never does this. Dude, but there's just a little bit more here that we need to read from this article before we move on.
Oh.
And that is, yeah, there is. I know it looks like some generic stuff here, but when you scroll down just a little bit further, it says PlayStation VR 2 features for Horizon Call of the Mountain. It talks about 4K HDR display, no surprises there. Headset feedback says feel subtle, responsive headset vibrations at key moments during gameplay for a deep, immersive experience. Nothing that we shouldn't have expected. Obviously, it's going to take full advantage of the haptics in the headset. That is awesome.
So, is this confirming that game is going to be 4K? I mean, if any game was to be 4K, I'd expect a first-party title. But that's really cool.
It says feast your eyes on vibrant, super sharp 4K HDR visuals. And then it's got a little asterisk, and when you scroll down to the asterisk, it says combined resolution 2000 per eye. So, sounds like it, man. Sounds like it.
Interesting.
But the thing that we really want to pay attention to here, there's two different ones. It says finger touch detection. Interact with in-game items and environments in a natural and intuitive way, even when you're not physically pressing a button. Finger touch detection recognizes how your hand is positioned, so the PlayStation VR 2 Sense controller can accurately replicate your hand movements. It's good stuff, right? Again,
very good stuff.
Maybe nothing we shouldn't have expected, but it's really glad to hear.
Yeah.
And then the biggest thing from this entire section is the haptic feedback, where it says, feel what it's like to fire your bow, craft tools, touch different textures, and travel in different terrains through precise, distinct vibrations delivered via the PSVR 2 Sense controllers. This might sound like a throwaway statement, but when they say, feel what it's like to fire your bow, craft tools, and touch different textures. Dude,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, like,
Yeah.
for real, like, we've seen the video of Rias climbing a rope, and the rope is braided, right? So not only are we going to feel the adaptive triggers kind of give us like a little bit of a spongy feel, right? Because it's that kind of material that you're climbing, pretty hard, but with just a little bit of give. We're going to feel that in the trigger, but also the controller itself could simulate like a little bit of a braided feel as you're kind of like grabbing, right? Just to kind of give like
potentially. I mean, this was something that one of the developers from Polyarc was talking about about Moss and bringing Moss over to PSVR 2 potentially, and they're talking about petting Quill and like feeling her fur as you pet her. So yeah, that is one thing that I think hasn't really, I think because nobody's experienced it yet, it hasn't really gotten a ton of people talking about it just yet, but they know deep down inside that things like that are coming. But yeah, that is just one more next gen feature that PSVR 2 is going to offer that it's just going to blow us away, man. Because yeah, I mean, touching different like leaves and vines and trees and all this stuff and being able to simulate the feel of different textures, that's a big deal. That is like one of those small little details that is going to just add up and go a long way towards having an amazing experience.
Yeah, and especially the zip lines, right? Where like you're just gonna feel those vibrations as you're heading down the zip line. I think this is gonna be some really next level shit, and like really let people know, because I do think that the DualSense controller was pretty revolutionary, and it was great, but I don't think you really fully understand what kind of level of immersion that brings until they're actually simulated in your hands in first person. Where you move your hand is where that sense controller is moving, and then on top of that you're getting these realistic vibrations, the realistic haptic feedback, the realistic everything to just kind of again trick your brain just a little bit further into to make it think that you're in the world that you're in. I don't know, man. I think that we haven't yet seen the full capacity of even the DualSense, and I think that we're really going to see the potential when we finally get our hands on the Sense controllers and see what this is like in VR. It's going to be a huge step forward.
Gen, man. It's going to be an amazing gen. This gen, dude.
Absolutely
amazing.
Yeah, Zadi says I think Brian's and AJ's expectations are too high. I mean, maybe.
Well, I'm not actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, it's really up to the developers, right? If it was up to us, right, I'm sure we would find a way to meet those expectations. But it's up to developers, and I don't. But this is again a first-party game, AAA game, PlayStation Studios support. Like it has the potential at least to do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that it's PlayStation VR 2 is finally going to push VR into the next gen. We've been kind of holding on to roughly the same tech for about 6 years. Even when you look at the Quest and you look at everything else that's happening, very very few AAA games on the PC side of things. We've sort of just been stagnant for a very very long time. And I think everybody, the industry, we take a full step forward together. It's going to be beautiful.
And Nick Mulo, the Gamecat, who is arguably our biggest resident Horizon fan, you're welcome, Nick, says anyone who has played Forbidden West knows how you can feel your hand running over the tall grass. Boom. It's already possible with the DualSense. So yeah, that was my first thought, was like, I don't know about like knots and ropes and stuff. That might be a little bit more tricky. Who knows? But definitely stuff like I said, grass and vines and leaves, and like you'll feel those impact when you brush something, like, push a vine out of your way. Little things like that, at least.
Yeah. Those when I saw Rise climbing with the picks, and during one little part, it's like he slides and didn't quite get the pick in all the way and slide just a little bit. Man, I can imagine that being super immersive.
PS6 or PSVR 6 it'll actually have like this morphing ball that changes shape and texture. Physically changes shape and texture in your hand. It's gonna be awesome, man. PSVR 6, let's go.
It is going to be awesome.
Actual orbs on your hands.
But for the time being, the most exciting thing we can offer is a little game of PSVR 20 questions. And guess who the host is this week? Not me. So I really need all the help you can possibly give me in the chat, guys. AJ's got to think of a PSVR game. I've got 20 yes or no questions to think of which game he's thinking of. Also, I got to put 6 minutes up on the clock up on the counter, the way that Jeremy likes it. So remember, guys, help me out in the chat. I'm just looking. I'm still watching the Horizon trailer, and it's just still every single time I see it. It's God. I need all the help I can get, guys. Please.
He's gonna need your help, guys. So bring your A game here.
Ooh, we're in hard mode.
Maybe. I think so. I think it's gonna be a pretty tough one.
All right, cool. Well, then here we go. Let's do it. Can you use analog sticks in this game?
No.
Okay. So we're gonna say moves only.
Okay.
I'm guessing moves only. Is what you're doing in this game mostly shooting?
No.
Okay, shooting. No. Mostly no. I'm going to ask Donatello's question, but I don't know how much it's going to help me. Does this game have a physical copy?
Ooh. I'm going to say no. I don't think it does.
Okay. Good. I'm just stocking up on ammunition so I can fight the verdict at the end. Is it first person as serial killer?
It is first person.
All right. So we know it's moves in first person. So that is the entire PlayStation VR library. Good job, everybody. We're killing it. But we're not mostly shooting, which is I think our biggest hint so far. Chrome Colossus asks, does it have smooth locomotion or full locomotion, smooth movement?
It does not have full locomotion.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask this. Does it have, and the reason I have to explain why I'm asking it, does it have teleportation because you might just be standing in one place?
Does have teleportation,
okay.
I believe. Yes.
Kill Artist, I'm not going to ask if it's open world because I can't think of any open world games that don't have full locomotion. Hector Robles asks, is it a puzzle game?
Hold on. Does it have full locomotion? I'm sorry. Does it have teleportation? Shit. I think it has teleportation. I know it doesn't have full locomotion. I think it has teleportation. What was your question?
Is it a puzzle game?
It's kind of a puzzle game-ish.
Puzzle.
It's got puzzles-ish in it.
Ish.
Yeah.
Hendrick.
I wouldn't probably. Let's see. It's not really listed as a puzzle game, but it's ish.
It's not Vader Immortal, you guys, because that definitely does have a physical copy, and AJ knows that. Yep. That's a good question, though, Old Darth. Is it based on a known IP?
No, it is not based on an IP.
IP? No. Is there a flat screen version of this game?
There's not a flat screen version of this game.
Flat? No. It can't be Doom, Shirley Funk, but good suggestion. Does this game... I'm going to go with Nick for here, but I'm going to ask a different question to get to my destination. Is this game cartoony?
Yeah, it's pretty cartoony.
Okay. We're going down the vacation sim path, you guys.
Pretty cartoony.
Would this game be developed by Alchemy Labs?
It is not developed by Alchemy Labs.
All right, that eliminates Vacation Sim 1 and 2. I mean, Job Sim and Vacation Sim and Rick and Morty. Paper Beast. Interesting. Paper Beast uses the DualShock and definitely has a physical copy, so that's a no. All you are is history asks, is it a PSVR exclusive or is it also on other platforms?
I think it's on other platforms.
Okay. Exclusive.
I believe so.
No. Got it. Damn, this is running out. We got 2 minutes left.
That finger shadow game.
Is it funny?
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be funny.
It's kind of funny. Yeah. I thought it was kind of funny.
Okay, well, so that rules out Trover and Accounting Plus because those games are definitely funny, not kind of funny. It can't be. It can't be the American Dream because that's all you're doing is shooting. Okay, All Your Art's History says is it a top 25 game? What
is not?
Oh, guys, we're running out of time.
I have seen someone say it.
Oh, good, because I've not been paying attention at all. Would this be a collection of? Would this be more of an experience? And by experience, I mean like a roller coaster or a amusement park game or anything that's not a full-fledged game.
Ooh, it's really on the line there. I think it's like intended to be a game. That's 15.
Okay.
I'd probably call it more of a game, but it is a very experience-like game.
Is Greg Miller in this game?
Greg Miller's not in this game. That's
Okay.
16.
It's not Island Time. It's not Sam and Max because it's not based on an IP. Does it have portals?
Portals?
I don't know. Shapeshifter Acid. I'm running out of time.
No, I don't think so.
Does it have melee combat?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh my! Is it virtual reality?
It is virtual reality.
Oh my God! Listen,
Looper. Or was that? Did you read Twitchers?
I read
Looper
Twitchers, but just at the last
person-
second. So thank you guys for getting me there. Sorry, I didn't read it fast enough. But
19,
holy crap! With
that
literally
was 19. It is virtual reality. I saw Looper say it first, and then I saw tons of people saying it.
Well, thank you guys so much for helping me out because I mean, it was not even on my radar until I just scrambled and read one of the last games that I saw. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for helping me out with like 1 second left on the
close,
clock.
Though. You were on the right track. You were like, okay, virtual or vacation sim. I'm like, yeah, he's going down the right path of the right style of games. I know there's a lot of those in VR.
I was on the right path for Island Time VR.
But yeah, this game, when I first played this game, I actually didn't really like it that much. And then I played it again on a Saturday Night Live stream, and I liked it a lot more. I think having the right expectation for this game, I actually really enjoyed the last time I played it. I thought it was really cool and unique.
Yeah, it's a it is unique. I would absolutely agree with that statement, and I think it tells a very interesting story. Still nothing really like it in VR. Really, really good stuff. Thank you guys again for saving me at the absolute last second.
That was
there.
epic buzzer beater right there.
Like I asked the question, and I asked it, and then the timer blew up while we waited for you to respond. It was absolutely perfect. So thank you guys so much for wait, people. JCats is still asking about melee combat. Craziness. Listen, you guys, make sure you do all the things that we tell you to do, like, hit the like button, subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground. The link's in the description. Make sure that you click the link to join our Discord. Remember, the Discord is totally free to join. The Patreon stuff has been really cool lately. Like I said, for the $3 tier on Patreon, not only do you get access to voice chat on Discord, but you also get your name scrolling like endlessly down below there for every single time we do one of these Gamecasts. But also for the $5 tier, AJ and I recorded an episode of Why We Love. We brought that series back for the Patreon supporters. I also did an AMA for Patreon this weekend, and it was really, really a lot of fun. We had a lot of good conversations. I'm super emotional. I get emotional like every single time I start telling personal stories. Surprise, surprise, I got emotional. But definitely, hopefully, just an added bonus for those people who like to help us out. So thank you, everybody, including Looper the Underground Game Cat with the €5. Says, speaking of Saturday Night Live streams, I mean, maybe Looper's at the beginning of the show.
No, we just mentioned it. I just mentioned it.
Are they returning at some point, AJ?
Yeah, they are. I might start to wind it down a little bit here pretty soon. If I do like a season finale of Saturday Night Live streams, I'm gonna do like a 10-hour viewers choice stream or something, like 8 hour. I don't know. But I've done 89 of those.
So I says to Mabel, I said, "Oh, sorry. What were you saying about
Yeah,
you've done 172,000
yes.
Saturday Night Live
Yeah.
streams? Yep.
Yep. And so it might, scheduling might be a little here and there until PSVR 2 comes out and we get some brand new games. But it's been a good run, and I might try to just hit 100 Saturday Night Live streams and then end the season there for PSVR 1 and then move on. There's so many, and it's such an enjoyable thing. So I'll never ever get rid of it. But might need a little break from it.
Sure, understandable. And sorry, Looper, I totally forgot that AJ brought up Saturday Night Live streams as soon as we talked about virtual reality. My bad. My brain, mush. So make sure you subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground. Like I said, the link is in the description below. Just thank you to everybody who helps the channel run, including AJ and Miles and Wes and all of the mods that do an amazing job, not just over here, but over on Discord as well. Thank you to everybody out there in the community, everyone who supports us, not just here in the chat with tips, but also on patreon.com/withoutparole games. And of course, everybody who watches the show doesn't say a goddamn word, just sits back and listens. We love you just as much. AJ, may I cue the cat?
Cue the cat, Brian, because I want to say see you guys on West Day to all you R's history. Says, did I miss the fireman Sam talk? Mark Pringles Leaf, thank you. Shirley Funk with the heart 100. Keeping it 100 with the love. Thank you, Shirley Funk. Stay funky. Imzadi, thank you as well with the bumblebee and green hearts. Love you guys. Nick the Game Cat, how? Peace out, homie. Guys on Fist to you. King E Mighty says, right check. Chrome Colossus, aka GB, the abbreviated GC, aka Genetic Blasphemy, baby. Brax Bro, and as always, in case I don't see you later, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Johnny No Pockets, aka the Who Dat Game Cat, Old Darth, a PSVR 2 gaming hound dog. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, old Darth. Scott Jesco, he's in here, PSVR Game Cat for the lives. Hector Rolls, hello, says yeah. Mark Smith, thank you so much. Thank you for joining and coming supporting. Smash the like, guys. Support the channel. Support the streams. Move Master Mick, the shape throwing Game Cat, PSVR Game Cat. Sorry, it says TTFN, which I can never remember whenever he says that. Okay, yes. Yeah. Shapeshifter, the Animorph Game Cat says pizza. Devil horns, beer, thumbs up, arm flex, and 100. Yes, I agree. I love it. Love the energy, Shapeshifter. Braxbro says, play more Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I agree. That is a great game. Man. By the way, if you have PlayStation Plus Premium, shit, I wanted to talk about that, but we didn't really have time.
I mean, I can bring the show back if you want, Mose.
Nah, it's all right. We got to go for now. I got shit to do.
Nice.
But go download Intelligent Cube. It's on there now. Yes.
And of course, Twitcher says, kumquats. You're a kumquat.
Yes, you are, Twitcher. You're our kumquat.
Oh, who's a good kumquat? Who's a good? You're a good kumquat. Yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Why are there still people watching? We're so fucking dumb. Good night, everybody. We love you all.